And what about your petrol? Was that
Free the refugees. One of the reasons why we're here today at this rally is because we want to close Manus, close Nauru. We want to see a more compassionate treatment of refugees. We're also here because of Treaty Now, and this is where the root of all this racism starts. The fact that we've actually never resolved this horrendous situation with the First Peoples of this country, and today we will be hearing from one of the main activists around the treaties.
Okay, I better go, just wanted to let you know. Okay, bye.
Okay.
I'd been talking to a lot of people who had started to be scared about attending to anti-racism rallies, feeling like they're automatically going to be violent, but wanting to show that they're opposed to racism. So we did, and also people are very alarmed at the increase of racism in Australian society today. Attacks on Muslims, attacks on refugees, and also the booing of Adam Goodes. So we decided to start off with a local community rally, a suburban rally talking to local groups, and we started to seek support, and we built a little organising collective, started to get a number of endorsements for a rally, a local suburban rally against racism. And so we're basically hitting on three particular issues. The three key issues of racism today in Australia. One is against Aboriginal people, with the decision to close Aboriginal communities and the call of the Aboriginal community for a treaty. Secondly, the demonisation of refugees. So we've been calling for letting refugees in and closing Nauru and Manus Island concentration camps. And we're also saying no to Islamophobia, because there have been Muslim people, in particular Muslim women, attacked in the local area.
Okay, there's a counter-rally to this rally by the, let's just call it the far right. How do you think this will go today with them organising their counter-rally to your rally?
Well, basically, they are a threat, obviously, the far right, but the biggest threat, really, of racism in Australia today is the federal government, because the racist environment that the far right are latching onto has been created by the federal government's demonisation of Muslims and refugees. So we're basically planning not to engage with the far right today. The far right is trying to dictate what issues people are allowed to mobilise around or not mobilise around. We're committed to mobilising around these issues regardless of the far right. Yes, the police have asked me to call the rally off. Some of my fellow councillors asked me to call the rally off. Someone from another political party contacted me on Thursday asking me to call the rally off. I think that would have been disastrous if we'd done that, because it's basically allowing the far right to dictate what issues we're allowed to campaign around and not around, what issues we're allowed to discuss in society. So there's no way we were going to call this rally off, but we do intend to conduct the rally in a peaceful way. We want this to be a peaceful and safe space for people, because we'll have children and there'll be people who have been the victims of racist attacks before. So we want to conduct a peaceful rally, but we are determined not to be silenced.
Muslims are welcome, racists are not! Muslims are welcome, racists are not! Free the refugees! Free the refugees! Free the refugees! Free the refugees! With fascist policies, detaining people without charge, detaining children, treating pregnant women and people with children like numbers, worse than you treat an animal, of course. And this is what we are here to say. This rally was called to say close the detention centres. said has closed the concentration camps, a treaty for Aboriginal people, and the people that are gathering over on Bridges Reserve have the direct opposite in mind. They are fascist by definition. They are arguing for the continuation of Australia's concentration camps, and that is not something we're going to stand for, is it, Coburg? No! We're going to stay here today, and we're going to have a show of solidarity and strength with the people of Coburg. This is a proudly diverse and multicultural community. Many of the people here call it home. So, Nazi scum off the streets! 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 Nazi scum that are around are planning still on marching. And of course, as we know, those that have been here know that the police, the Victorian police, are often in the habit of facilitating these fascist marches and allowing it. There's no such thing as a fascist march, just a police march in the end. Because we will always stop them. However, it looks like they may be trying to facilitate the fascists marching down and harassing the good people of Coburg. Are we going to stand for that? What?
How are you? Good? Yeah, we're campaigning for Aboriginal rights, and we know there's a big discussion as we speak about, sovereign treaty. So if you're interested at all. Yeah, I used to live in Coburg and I now live in Yarraville and I work in Footscray. Footscray is a really multicultural place and Coburg has also got lots of people from different countries. And racism has always existed also in these communities. And, we need to make sure that everybody can feel safe and appreciated in their communities. Coburg has got quite a considerable amount of Muslim people also living here, and we also know there have been incidences of Muslim women who've been targeted, because they're Muslim and they've had their veils removed and all of that, and that's just utterly unacceptable.
I'm mother of 3 children, an IT professional. I'm just sick of all these oppression towards Muslims and Muslim women that's occurring under the legal protection. That's why I'm here to protest. What's happening here is not right. We don't want to see racism under the legal banner done by the politicians, the media, and all the violent organizations. They're getting support from, they're getting registered by the government. I mean, I'm so shocked about all these, the things that's happening here.
Can you tell us where you're from? Yeah.
I'm from Bangladesh, but I've been here in this country for nearly 26 years. So this is my home.
Have you experienced any situations of Islamophobia? Have you been attacked at all?
Yes, I have been attacked a number of times, and it was quite disappointing. Like every time when I reported, my cases were not taken seriously. And I've met so many of the Muslim women who are really, really disgusted by how authorities deal with all these reports. That's why so many of them don't report them at all.
The word treaty.
What do you hope today's rally will achieve?
We want to send a strong message to the community. Leave us to ourselves to decide what we wear, how we would like to dress up, where we would like to sit, if it is segregated or not. It's my privacy, my right. I want to stand up for my right.
Today we declare Moreland a racist-free zone because we have so much love here in Moreland. We can spread all over beautiful Australia. We have such a beautiful people coming here. They fight every bigotry. They fight every racism. We are all one. We come from one. And we are all one. And we are all have the same blood. Our blood is red. So there is no point of racism. And my message to those who still have some bigotry, don't look at the color of your skin or the color of your eyes or hair. Look at the color of your heart. If your heart loves everyone, then you know that you are on the right track. We have so much love here, and today we declare Moreland a racist-free zone.
Hello. Hey?
I am one of the marshals today.
So what does that entail?
And what we do is we try to keep the place safe. We try to keep the place violence-free. We try to keep away. We try to make a point. The point is, everybody here love everybody. There is no place between us. There is no room for racist. There is no room for racism. So if you have the love, come to Moreland. If you have hatred, stay where you are. Don't come to Moreland. Come here, see the different culture. We have over 100 culture in one street. Come and enjoy. Come and celebrate. Come and be human again and help and support the free Moreland, free of racism.
I'd like to draw attention to the amount of police that we're surrounded by. So you'll notice the amount of police here. There's the ordinary police and they're the riot cops. They're armed with pepper spray. They're armed with huge nightsticks. They're a show of force and intimidation, but just who are they protecting? We've seen in other rallies where they actually protect the UPF, where they protect the racists, and they actually should be standing up against, they're supposed to be serving everybody, they should be standing up against racism and hate, but we know who they're serving.
The group Media Bridges Reserve, the Nazis, are trying to use that environment in which to grow. So that's why we've called this rally today, because we want to rebuild people's confidence to rally against racism. We will not be deterred from standing up and speaking out on these issues. And I think it's been disgraceful that the police media blitz, which has discouraged some people from coming to the rally. Our numbers would be much, much greater if this blitz hadn't happened. But there's still, all of the endorsing organisations have maintained their endorsement for the rally. Our demands today that we want to focus on, the three key issues of racism in Australia today, is the threat to close 300 Aboriginal communities in Western Australia. Shame. And the call to echo and support the call of the First Nations community for a treaty, which is hundreds of years overdue. We also want to call for all the refugees and asylum seekers on Nauru and Manus Island to be brought to Australia. And we want to oppose all forms of Islamophobia and religious prejudice, because Islamophobia is actually a form of racism, and Islamophobia is leading to an increase in racism across our society. And I think the booing of Adam Goodes on the football field has a lot to do with the whole demonisation of Muslims and refugees. It's all together. So congratulations to come out today, and it's my privilege to invite Andrew Gardner to the stage. Andrew Gardner is a Wurundjeri man, the traditional owners of this area. And Andrew Gardner has also been involved in our campaign to win back the site of an Aboriginal school that was unjustly closed by the previous state government, and we're campaigning for this site to be turned into a First Nations community hub. It's the Ballot Maroop campaign. Welcome, Andrew.
Good morning. So you've all heard my name. I'd just like to provide a bit of a welcome to country for this rally. Basically, the Wurundjeri traditional lands are from the Werribee River in the west to the Great Dividing Range in the north, to Mount Baw Baw in the east, and Mordialloc Creek to the south. Our neighbours to the south were the Boonwurrung people, to the north were the northeast were the Tongarong people, to the northwest were the Djadjerung people, and to the west were the Wathaurong people. We recognise them because they're all part of the Kulin Nation. I'm not saying the Kulin Nation didn't actually exist, but together, language groups, common ancestral beliefs. But the land you're on right now is traditionally Wurundjeri land. What I'd like to say today about the racism and saying no to it is, you know, racism's been perpetrated on our people since occupation. Yeah, since occupation. And the same racism has been applied to refugees that have come, to the Muslim population, and it doesn't represent a fair and just society that Australia needs to be.
What a great day to do something really important. And this is one of probably many that are going to happen, because we have a racist climate out there at the moment. How dare people say to refugees they can't come to our country? 50,000 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in this state do not say that, and will never say that. Never. You want to ship something out, you ship racism out of here. And any treaty will also address this racism issue. We do not want it on our country. We don't want drugs on our country. We want the good things, not the bad things. Not the bad things. And racism is bad. And for white folks to say they're reclaiming this country, you've got to be joking. You've got to be joking. They've got to be kidding.
I'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people and the Kulin Nations that we stand here before today. And I'd also like to say that I would like to extend from the 23 nations of traditional owners throughout the whole of Victoria the support that Coburg and the Moreland Council has given to us. And I can't say enough about in terms of what Gary's just said before. So I'd just like to say on behalf of all of you that have turned out on this wonderful day, it's a fantastic opportunity to support one another. So thank you.
So for those who haven't heard about this movement, it arose in response to the High Court decision earlier this year that's left 267 people at risk of being sent back to offshore detention. It stems from the ancient power of the Church to provide sanctuary and protection to vulnerable people from authorities who intend to harm them. In this case, it means that many churches, including Brunswick Uniting, are offering to shelter and protect asylum seekers who are at risk of deportation back to offshore detention. This offer is not an empty one. If any one of the 267 people decide to take up this offer, we fully intend to provide this sanctuary and accept any legal consequences that come with this. I don't think I need to tell you how desperate the situation is. Although these people may have disappeared off the front pages for now, they continue to be treated with cruelty every day, and many have to live with the constant threat of being sent back to situations which have already caused them so much suffering.
The rising trend of Islamophobia and racism is dividing our community. This needs to stop. The racists, who are so-called enlightened freedom preachers, cannot tolerate our freedom of choice. Also, I'm sure most of us have heard about some violent racist groups who want to reclaim Australia. Reclaiming what? Seriously, are you reclaiming something that didn't even belong to you in the first place? Doesn't matter how patriotic you are. Honestly, it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I come by boat because the Third World War is already in Afghanistan. The first day when I arrived in Australia, when I came to Australia, yeah, I couldn't speak English, couldn't reading and writing, but on that time when I was in detention center, I started writing, reading and speaking English. I came to Australia 11 August 2012, just 2 days ago, 2 days before when the laws changed. I'm working as a landscape gardener in Swan Hill. But let I tell you, when I was in detention center, the government took my name and gave us just a number. My number was LYN072. It's a shame. By the help of you guys and the people from Swan Hill, I found my name back. My name is Rohala Hussaini. And now I want to tell you, when the Tony Abbott was the government in Australia, he spoke on the television one day. He says, each refugee costs us in detention center $120,000 each year. Look, we working, paying tax. We don't want the government to spend our money to lock the people in detention center or smothering us, or smothering the refugees. Refugees came to Australia to make a new home, to living in peace and make a better Australia by you guys, by you help you guys. Because in 2014, I was in Melbourne on a train. I tried to go from Melbourne to Dandenong. I was talking on the telephone. One old lady, she asked me, she said, could you tell me where you come, which country you come from? I said, well, guess me. And she said, don't know, your face is like an Aussie boy, but you talk in different languages. I say, well, I can talk 4 different languages. Anyway, when I say I'm from Afghanistan, she says, stop talking, please. And I ask her again and again, she says, I'm going to ring the police. Anyway, I just changed my cabin and moved to the other one. When I go back to Swan Hill, I say I should do something. I should let the people know why refugees come to Australia and who we are, why we come from here. I started riding bike from Swan Hill to Canberra. That was in 2014. That was the first time in my life, riding for refugees, raising awareness for refugees and human rights. I had a petition in my hand. I saw a couple of politicians and that's it. When I came back to Swan Hill, I got an email from immigration. They warning me, said, don't do that again. Anyway, I did again in 2015. That was second time in my life I make 1,015 kilometers by 16 days. And lots of people helped me on the way, donate me. Thank you. And here still, I want to tell you, I'm working, paying tax, and living in limbo. The government just is smothering us, is smothering refugees. And today I want to tell the refugees, please, I want to tell the government, please, Mr. Tembo, stop smothering the people. Stop smothering the refugees and human beings. Let's free them. Yeah, thank you so much.
On behalf of the CFMEU, we ain't the most popular people with a Turnbull government. We're not exactly popular with the media, but I tell you what, when people actually are asked what they think of the CFMEU and the policies and positions we take, most people, I think, in this community reckon we're okay. Because we've got a good history, a proud history of opposing racism, supporting the people who are being attacked and disadvantaged in our society, and acting for the benefit of our members and the people that they support, their families. And we make sure as we did this week, that when it comes to wages and conditions, decency in the workplace, the CFMEU is in the front and we're proud of it, and Malcolm Turnbull, you can suck on it.
Number one is that unless you are a First Nations person or you have that background, you are ultimately a migrant and you are living on Aboriginal land. Number two is that migrants contribute to our economy and to our communities. Third, history has shown that racist and fascist groups are aided by democratic capitalist government policies. Rising inequality, poverty, exploitation and discrimination, these lay the basis for the far right to scapegoat Aboriginal people, refugees and Muslims. It's not enough to just celebrate diversity. Some in the community have said that today's rally should have been cancelled or was not necessary. The fact that people like Nasrin, who spoke before, are being assaulted for wearing a headdress or for having different coloured skin shows we clearly do need to speak out.
Out of Coburg! Nazi scum! 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 Out of Coburg! Nazi scum!
Give us a lighter! They don't burn. Yeah, no. Guys, we need this on. Let's move on. Coppers are moving in.
Be careful. We don't want to leave anyone behind.
To line by single file, go.
Brad, go through. Straight to the lane where we were at before.
Jesus Christ.
Muslims are welcome here. So the fascists are gathered over behind the police line over there. I think we should go say the final fuck you and goodbye. Then we'll come back to
Come with us. You see what they're doing? They're mass women. Get away. You're fucking dead. Fuck you. They're mass women. They're boys women. Looking for it.
Why aren't you stopping there?
He lives here, mate. Fucking lives here.
Get back.
This is his street.
But today, we drove the would-be master race, the white supremacists of the Nazis in Melbourne, out of the streets of Coburg, off Sydney Road. They didn't set foot on Sydney Road. And we've showed them that every time they try to show their disgusting, racist faces in our streets on this land, they will be driven off. So we're going to celebrate our victory today. We've chased them off with their tails between their legs. They're hiding, cowering behind the chaos of the Victoria Police. It's kind of fitting. We're going to celebrate our victory today in smashing the Nazis out of Coburg. I think we should start with a few chants. And like I said, given the racist history of this country and this city and the diverse community that we're in, we should start by chanting, always was, always will be. And given the specific nature of what these racists are organising around today, attacking Muslims, vilifying Muslims, openly marching in support of the Australian state's refugee concentration camps, I think two more chants. Let's have a go at Muslims are welcome, racists are not.
Muslims are welcome, racists are not. Muslims are welcome, racists are not. Muslims are welcome, racists are not.
I said two more chants, and the last one I want us to chant while we march, because I think we should march back to Sydney Road, and it's a victory lap to reclaim that street for the multicultural, diverse, anti-racist people of Coburg and Melbourne. We want to make it clear to everyone that that street is not a Nazi street, and it never will be. Let's march that way back to Sydney Road. Always will be. Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
I was busy filming the speeches, so I missed a lot of the confrontation with the far right. Can you tell us what happened?
Certainly. So the True Blue crew, the UPF and so on, have been kettled in the park behind me for the better part of the last couple of hours. What had happened is that they'd attempted to march from this park down Bell Street and down Sydney Road. They were prevented from doing so when initially about 40, 50 and then a couple of hundred people gathered at the intersection of Bell and Sydney and a bit further down Bell. What's happened since then is that the fascists have made multiple attempts to escape the park in order to attack the rally. They've been unsuccessful and they've now been forced basically to disperse. What had happened was that people had marched from that intersection back round and up through the car park just to make sure that all the fascists were well and truly gone. And I believe that a few people had attempted to enter the park behind us. The police have deployed OC spray against the couple of hundred people who were gathered here. I don't know, presumably just because they don't like the idea of people going back through the park, whatever. So basically the summation now is a couple of people OC affected, all the fascists have been forcibly dispersed, and the rally is now winding down.
I think it's important that people stand up against racism. And if you understand the history of this country, it's chronically racist. I really appreciate the people here today standing up. And this racism it's institutionalised racism. It's coming from the state. They're the ones who allowed this to manifest to what it is today. You know, these other people on the other side of the fence here are a product of a racist state. You know, we need to be attacking the causes of racism in this country, and it's your so-called governments, historically, right back to the beginning of this colony. You know, if these two groups can come together and knock out the real racists here, that'd be a good day. You know, I found myself on the other side of the fence here, and I wasn't sure which side I was on. And earlier in the piece, when these things were starting to happen, the rise of this racist shit that's going on just recently, they were carrying our black flag with them on that side. I said, my flag on both sides of this argument. Sure, there's not much between here. We should be targeting the real racists. You know? They've got issues that I can relate to on the other side. So, you know, it's just like Pauline Hanson saying that native title is racist and so is APSIC. I agree. So, you know, we've got to think about what racism and where it's coming from. Racism is nothing but an institution of racism. We know this, don't we? No treaty, no consent, no jurisdiction. You need to really have a good look about where this racism is coming from, the causes of it. And you've got to dig it out by the roots. So it's rooted in this country. It's a premise of this country. It's a foundation of this country. Racism, not the poor ignorant fellas on the other side who don't know nothing. It's just used by the state.
In solidarity, we are uniting against these bigots, these clowns who just are a pirate of bigotry, and it's disgusting, it really is. But I don't want to sit here and say that, oh, Muslims are welcome, Muslims this, Muslims that. We're human beings. We are all human beings. So not only should there be peace in Palestine, there should be peace in Australia, there should be peace in Israel, there should be peace all around the world. We're an international society, not just a Muslim society. I'm a Muslim, I love Islam. It's a religion of peace, which is why I'm saying that human beings need to stand together. Our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he said that if one person throughout the entire human race is hurt, everybody is hurt, which is why I say all human beings are welcome.
You've got some pepper spray, looks like, on your T-shirt. Were you involved in the fracas before?
I was definitely at the fracas towards the end. As we were running towards the bigots and not trying to get a hold of them, just trying to stand in their faces. I was pepper sprayed. Luckily, nothing got into my eyes. It did get into my mouth. It burns, but I do see this as a battle scar wound. It's good. My favourite jumper is ruined, but I'm thankful that I was here. Thankful to be a part of this with such amazing people. I mean, look at this face. It's beautiful. I would like to start by quoting a very famous man, and I'm pretty sure some of you know him. His name is Tupac Amaru Shakur. They claim that I'm violent just because I refuse to be silent. These hypocrites are having fits because I'm not buying it, defying it. Envious because I will rebel against any oppressor, and this is known as self-defense. I show no mercy, they claim that I'm the lunatic. But when that shit gets thick, I'm the one you go and get. Don't look confused, the truth is so plain to see. Cause I'm the Muslims that you sellouts all ashamed to be. Cause every hijab and the beard are a finest. I'm never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. A young Muslim male on an uprise. It's time to tell the truth, heard enough lies. I'm told to fight back, attack on society. If this is violence, then violence is what I gotta be. If you investigate, you'll find out where it's coming from. Look at our history, Australia is the violent one. Unlock my brains in the chains from your misery. This time it's payback for evil shit you did to me. They call me militant, racist cause I will resist. They want to censor something, motherfuckers censor this. Militant weapons and I'm subject to the siren. Waking up the mass, but you claim that I'm violent. Are welcome. Human beings are damn welcome. Not only Muslims, we stand together in this society, whether they like it or not. And believe me, in the future, it is us that will rise. I'm telling you, as long as we're ahead, I'm gonna keep them down. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.